Reactions. This is episode 25, and we've got a lot to react to today. So, as I always say, grab your favorite drink, snack, or vice, and let's go ahead and get into it. Yes, yes. Like I said, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you guys might be listening to this. You're listening to another episode of Sutton Reactions. I'm your host, Sutton Def. This is a show where we react to pretty much any and everything here. You know, a little bit of sports, a little bit of, fun topics. We like to do these horror challenges, which we have a lot of those today. So, if you like those, you're in for a treat today. And we do it just a lot of things, a lot of different things. We have range here on Sudden Reactions, and that's honestly what I'm most proud of about this show. And the people who consistently watch this show, which is basically everybody in the live chat right now, and some of you guys are still trickling in here, you guys have the range as well. And I could not do this without y'all. So I just want to say I appreciate it. You guys show up consistently for me. I will continue to show up consistently for you because this is a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun. And listen, if you're part of the replay gang on this one, please consider turning on the notifications for the Sutton Reactions YouTube channel. I know some of you guys might be watching this on PRP right now. If you are, scroll down to the description, click on Sudden Reactions, subscribe, and join the video from that channel. That way you can join our live interactive on-screen chat throughout this episode. But yeah. Let me see here. Who's in the live chat? We got Ashley in the chat. What's going on, Ashley? Says good morning, Sutton and everyone. Good morning, Ashley. We have Herb. Herb in the chat. What's going on, Herb? Says good morning. Top of the morning to your Herb. We got Tila M in the chat. Says good morning. Good morning, Tila. I see my guy Stretch 52. Hey, listen, I listened to that J. Cole project, man. I listened to that J. Cole project. That shit is gas. I'm telling you. I want to talk about it. I want to get your opinion on it too. King Blaze is in the house as Sutton was good. What's going on, King Blaze? Appreciate you for pulling up. We got JD in the house. What's up? What's up? What's up? Let me see who else. Am I missing anybody? Kenny, no, you're not late at all. You're actually right on time. We are just getting started here on this episode 25 of Sudden Reactions. Again, good morning to everybody. JD says, are you doing a show on the Minter presser? So this show here at Sudden Reactions is going to run into that. About an hour from now is when that starts. And I didn't plan on covering that until me and Alex got on stream tonight, or our 6:30 stream, our normal Thursday stream, because I wanted to kind of save it for that. I might do a YouTube short or something like that, but I don't think I'm going to go live between now and the 6:30 show talking about the Minter presser. So if you want to get our takes on that, definitely tune into PRP later on today at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we normally do. Let me see. Chris M is in the chat. What's going on, Chris M? Appreciate you for coming through, as always. I see my guy, Taurus. What's up, Taurus? We missed you yesterday, man. We missed you. We had some messy topics and some good horror challenges. You would have enjoyed it. You would have enjoyed it. But I'm glad you're here today. Zico Kage. What's going on, Zico Kage? Appreciate you for always coming through, always supporting. Says Sutton was good and everyone. I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Cannot complain. Not one little bit. Not one little bit. Let me see. Chat's moving. Chat's moving. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. Okay. So, how do I want to kick this one off? I normally kick it off with a little bit of Ravens news, but not much to cover until Minter, becomes ingratiated with the Ravens media in a couple of minutes here. We'll see what he has to say. I don't think that we're going to get anything, too juicy out of it. He's probably going to give a lot of, political answers, and that'll be fine, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun to hear the Ravens' new head coach for the very, very first time speak to the media. And he's also going to be on the Pat McAfee show a little bit later on this afternoon as well. And that's another reason, who asked me about that? JD, I think. That's another reason, JD, that I didn't want to stream directly after or during the Jesse Minter presser, because he's also going to be on Pat McAfee, where I assume we'll probably get a little bit, different type of answers coming from a bro show like Pat McAfee. So by the time me and Alex go live tonight, all of that will have happened. We'll have all that information and we will react to it. Tila says she's going 5-0 in lemonade horrors today. Lemonade horrors is hilarious. That is hilarious. Um, Stretch says Jada Kiss was on point with his assessment of J. Cole's project. I didn't see Jada Kiss's reaction to it. I personally loved it. I loved it. If you guys don't know, J. Cole is dropping an album, I think next week, end of next week. It's called The Fall Off. But before that, he just dropped a mixtape yesterday, which was his birthday, I believe. And it's got like 5 or 6 tracks on it. It's got a lot of samples, very sample heavy, big samples, things like that. Um, he was talking to shit. Now, I saw somebody say they gave the take that, he was only really talking about other rappers, but he wasn't name dropping. It's like, oh, why is he doing that? Because he ducked out of the Kendrick and Drake beef and all that. But I really think he put out that mixtape as a medium for just like kind of getting his shit off that he wanted to get off for the past year, but he hasn't been able to, right? I think he put all of the bars, his response to everything that everybody is saying about him. He's mentioning people who were sitting up on podcasts and engagement farming and stuff like that. And he's also mentioning rappers too. But I think he got his shit off with this mixtape here, and then now on his album, he's going to be able to focus more on, what he really wants to talk about, what's really been sitting on his heart, mind, and soul. Because that's the type of artist J. Cole has always been. But I think he knew he needed to kind of give us some hard bars up front. Like, okay, let me get this out of the way. Not to say there won't be hard bars on the fall off, but I think it's going to be a little bit more, introspective. It's going to be a little bit more creative, leaning as J. Cole tends to be on his full length project. So we'll see. We'll see. JD says he didn't diss on no one. Yeah, he didn't really. I mean, well, no, he did. He basically dissed Drake and Kendrick. He talked about, botted streams and whatnot, and how people are basically paying for engagement, it's pay to play, and like he brought up a lot of different topics. He talked about how, again, like these podcasters, they sit up and all they do is talk shit, and they're just hating. He had one bar in there. It was like you can either master the art of like hating or dick riding, and and both of those things will like get you to the top if you do them well enough, if you master those crafts, right? And he was really talking to shit. And I'm sure whoever the shoe is gonna fit for or is fitting for, they heard it, right? And they internalized that. So it'll be interesting to see how some people respond to it. Some people are already again giving backlash to it, like you mentioned, but I don't know. I loved it. I loved it. Let me see. Good morning, Coach. What's going on, Coach? Me, Coach, and Nitro had a great time yesterday on Quiet Storm Sports. For all you guys who didn't catch that episode, make sure you check that out on Purple Rain Podcast. We talked about a lot of good stuff. Had about an hour and some change with those fellas, and we had a great time. We had a great time. Wonderful episode. Make sure you check it out if you have not already. Let me see what y'all are saying in here. Void says hit dogs holler. Yes, they do. What's up, Void? What's up, Void? I see Mike in the chat too. What's up, Mike? Chef Spicy Rice is in the chat. What up? What up? Appreciate y'all for coming through. Can't miss y'all. Can't miss y'all. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. I don't think I did. And again, shout out to the replay gang as well. Those of y'all watching after the fact, make sure you comment along the way down below in the comment section because I love to read those too. Any feedback you might have, let me know. Let me know. Let me see. Mike says he threw some shots. Pretty sure he also talked about academics. Yeah, yeah, definitely. That's a really good point, Mike. I think that because academics is the prime example of somebody who has mastered hating and dick riding. You know what I'm saying? And like, I, I have a certain level of respect for academics because he's not afraid, to kind of stick his neck out there and do that consistently, and that takes guts to say the least. So from that regard, I have respect for him, but like he definitely does, fit the bill of what J Cole was saying on that tape for sure, for sure. Let me see, let me see. Just wanna people are searching for disses. I just want to enjoy the music. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the music stretch. I definitely did. 100%. Let me see. Zeke says he's gonna have to sit out the horror game. Damn, damn, man. Who's oh, you said Ack is trash. Ack is messy. I'm about to say, I know you ain't saying J. Cole is trash. No, you ain't saying that. ISO, what's going on, brother? Appreciate you for pulling up. Dick riding with no license. But he's built a career off of that, and that's why multiple people have like called him out, checked him over the years, you know what I'm saying? But like he's still kind of like standing tall in the industry. I don't really know how. I don't watch his content or anything like that, but to be that relevant for this long, I mean, it's been 10 years. I mean, he first really got his big break on Everyday Struggle. That was a show that was on Complex between him and Joe Budden back in 2016, and we're in 2026 now. I mean, the dude's been around for a decade, right? And he's still relevant, you know. But again, that's how J. Cole was telling the truth, because he said, like, you can get engagement, you can stay at the top as long as you master either, again, hating or dick riding. You know what I'm saying? And I think Ack has mastered both. He has mastered both. All right. Let me see what else we're saying. Ashley bringing up a TV show in here says, Chris, I'm so behind on Bridgerton. I watched the first season, then a couple of episodes of the second season. First season was good. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't see the rest of it, but first season was pretty good at Bridgerton. Can't lie. Coach says when Migos was about to jump Joe Button. Oh my gosh, man. The bad and bougie discrepancy. Oh, I remember that. I remember that. That was a classic right there. That was a classic. Shout out to Joe Budden though. I mean, he stood on business in that one. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to let those rappers punk him at the time. And Joe Budden's doing his thing right now. I wonder how Joe Budden feels about this J. Cole tape, because I feel like some of the commentary in that tape could have also been directed towards a Joe Budden, just because he's in that lane of people, who talks for a living. However, J. Cole did also mention that he loves how all the old rappers are now podcasters. So I think that when a guy like Joe Budden, who has a very successful podcast now, when he hears something like that, he might, be like, okay, J. Cole, he messes with me. So I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a J. Cole on the Joe Budden podcast. But then again, Cole is so like, in the shadows. Again, he's like the Shaolin monk of this rap shit. You know what I mean? He don't need to be out in the open, outside, in front of a camera. He don't need to be doing none of that. Like he's cool just kind of being in his dojo, right? And coming out with these dope raps. So shout out to Cole, man. Shout out to Button. I respect both lanes, man. They're saying he was dissing Joey Badass. Mm. Mm. I have to go back and listen to it again. I got to go back and listen to it again. A lot of crazy bars. A lot of crazy bars in that one. Loved it. Let me see. Who's it that was left all bad and bougie? What a time. What a time. Act might be in legal trouble due to the payola incident with little baby. That's interesting. That's interesting. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into some reactions on this episode 25 of Sutton Reactions. Let's get it. All right, all right, all right. Let's go. Episode 25. You already know what we starting with. Listen, I got a couple of I got maybe like 5, 6 games in here. 5, 6 rounds today of Liminal horror challenges. And yesterday, I want to give a shout out to the winner from yesterday, who was Kenny in the chat. Kenny went 5-0. Kenny went 5-0 yesterday on the Liminal horror challenge, man. I mean, we just got real quick. We got to clap it up for Kenny, because that's absolutely insane. Like I said, Kenny, we need to hit the casino together or something, because you got some crazy luck. Now, me, your boy Sutton, who y'all like to, trash and say that I'm, y'all like to fade my picks every time. Chris, I'm talking to you. Your boy went over 500 yesterday. I went 3-2. So I'm building on something this week. I'm just letting y'all know. So you might wanna, you feel me? I'm looking at least going maybe 4-1. I think I have 6 games. So 5-1. I think I have 5 games in a bonus round. Um, but I'm going over 500 today. I'm continuing my streak of going over 500. All right. All right. All right. Here we go. Here we go. No cheating today, y'all. Let me see. First one up. What we got? Let me see. Let's go to some how about the water slides?
Here, pick a water slide.
All right. Blue or red, where y'all going? Pick a water slide. Where y'all going? I'm not looking at no answers. Get your answers in. Get your answers in. Where are we going?
Your choice determines if you survive the next 70.
Ooh, 72 hours. 72 hours here. Get your votes in. You know, I went heavy on red yesterday. Right? And I went 3 and 2. I'm gonna start off today's Liminal horror challenge with blue. I'm gonna go with blue on the first one. First of all, the reverse psychology of this dude standing on top of the blue slide is making me feel like they're trying to steer me away from picking blue and going with a red. But I'm gonna go with blue on this one. Let me see what y'all are talking about. Let me see. Coach said the rules. The rules are, coach. All you got to do is you got to pick a side. Pick the blue side or the red side, left door, right door, whatever it is. You know, and it tells you this is where you got to stay for the next 72 hours. It's a different place, right? And basically, one is where somewhere you're gonna die, and another place, the other one is somewhere where you're probably gonna live. You got to try to pick the right one. It's a 50. It's basically a coin toss, right? We have a lot of fun with it here. All right, let me see. Red. Chris and Void say. Herb says red. Kenny says blue. Okay, Kenny on my side. I like that. Asmodeus says red. Oh, what's up, Asmodeus? Kogan says red. Sip to Tally says blue. Okay, coach. Team blue. Ashley says red. Tila says red. Love it, love it. Taurus says blue. All right. ISO says blue. Mike says blue. Chris says Sutton, stop playing in my face. Let me see. Cooked on arrival. Nah. Hold on. ISO said Sutton, just know I'm blue for all of these. All right. You going blue all day? Let's see. All right. So next 72 hours, whichever slide you pick is where you got to stay for the next 72 hours. Let's see what the blue one has to offer. I'm team blue. All right, let's check it out.
72 hours. Slide 1. The pool room. Being in a heated pool. It's safe, warm, and stocked with snacks and clean towels. You can even bring one person to keep you company. Slide 2.
That's it?
The water park.
Oh, yes, sir. We want to know, baby.
A massive abandoned park.
We want to know. Team Blue,
the lazy
we up.
river is flowing, and the food is unlimited. Fresh pretzels, nachos, and soda. The entire park is yours.
It's not
However,
bad. Oh, yes,
every
sir.
4 hours, something drags itself out of the wave pool.
Yes,
it
sir.
spends exactly 15 minutes checking every corner of the park. Your only hope is the locker rooms. Stay silent. The doors don't lock.
It's over with.
If it hears you breathing, it will find you. Do not let it find you.
Yes, sir. Y'all heard it there. Hey, look, Team Blue, we up. Team Blue, 1-0. Drop a 1-0 in the chat if you was Team Blue. Let's go. Let's go. Entities galore. I know y'all saw that monster in the red slide. That's a W. Kenny, 1-0. Let's get it. We going strong. Let's go. Yes, sir. Coach, 1-0. Let's get it. Voice says, hold. Hey, man. Hey, look. I'm feeling good about today. Yesterday, I started off 0-2, and then I had a ferocious comeback, ripped off 3 straight. Today, I'm starting off 1-0. Hey, look. I'm thinking about going undefeated today. Yeah, I should do it as a poll stretch. I got to figure out how to do that. Probably could do it in like Streamlabs or something. Just haven't looked into that yet. But good suggestion, though. I'll look into that, too. Definitely look into that. 1-0. Team 1-0. All right. Give a round of applause if you guessed that one right. We're going to move on to the next round, y'all. All right, here we go. Next one.
Pick a door. The door you choose will determine your fate for the next 48 hours.
All right. Next 48 hours, where we going? Red or blue? Red or blue? Red or blue? I'm a go. I'm gonna stick with the first option, so I'm gonna go red on this one. I'm gonna stick with first option, so I'm gonna go red. I got red on this one. All right, all right, all right, all right. King Raven says blue. Herb says blue. Kogan says blue. Mike says blue. Okay, okay. Team red. Tila with me. Chris with me. Void with me. I like it. Asmodeus with me. Stretch, ISO, Chris, and Coach say blue. All right, all right, all right. All right, let's go. Let's go. I'm team red. Team red. Let's go. Let's see where we at.
Hours. Door 1.
48
an
hours.
Infinite shore. An
Okay.
endless beach covered in sand with water on one side and forest on the other.
Bro, please don't tell me it's like some tribe in the woods who's trying to hunt me down. Please.
You can't leave. Trying to traverse into the forest will just lead to you coming back through the same spot you went in. Somewhere on the beach is a house. The home contains water, food, and
Damn, that's a big ass pickle. Yo, pause, bro. What the hell? It's just sitting on a nightstand like that? A pickle and a bottle of water? All right.
bed. There are no entities in this place.
No
And
entities.
You can bring one other person with you.
And you can bring somebody.
Congratulations.
You're safe. Hey, look, that's another W. That's another W. Hey, team red on that one. We 2-0. Or whoever picked blue on the first one. I'm 2-0. I'm 2-0. Let's see where blue is. I mean, blue might. I don't see how blue could be better.
Door 2, abandoned Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh.
A massive, decrepit children's pizza place with rot in the walls and flowers growing through the roof. Once bustling with fun, now old and deserted. The floors are wet and hard to sleep on, and the only food is moldy pizza you can find in the back. Stay away from the flowers in the ceiling. They're hallucinogenic and will make you imagine ghosts that aren't
shit.
there. You aren't alone here. The old Chucky animatronic.
Hey, look. The Chucky animatronic, bro, y'all. As soon as you see this shit, it is over with. Like, over with. Y'all are cooked. Y'all are cooked on this one. All y'all who pick blue,
Is still active, constantly searching for children to play with. Don't let him find you. Good luck.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. 2-0. 2-0. If you 2-0 with me, put it in the chat. If you 2-0 with me, put it in the chat. Y'all like to clown me. Y'all like to clown me, but for the first time, I've started 2-0. This is probably the first time, like dead ass, that I've started 2-0 in this game. I'm normally really bad at it, but yesterday and today, I've been having some good luck. Yesterday and today, I've been having some good luck. Coach says he 2-0, he whooping his ass. Hell no. Not the Chucky animatronic. That's got like superpowers and shit. And then you got these hallucinogenic flowers above him that make you hallucinate ghosts. You're gonna drive yourself crazy in there. And the food is what's it called? The food is expired. And the food is expired. That's crazy. But yeah, 2-0. If you picked blue on the first one, red on the second one, you are 2-0 with me. I don't think anybody is 2-0 though, officially. Damn. Hey, y'all might gotta start picking with your boy. I'm just saying, you might gotta start picking with your boy. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Let me see if I can keep up this streak. Let me see.
Pick a door now before either one opens. Your decision is final. The door you choose is where you will stay for the next week.
All right. All right. For the next week, y'all. For the next week, where are we going? Where are we going? Blue? I see a lot of blue. I don't know about this one, y'all. I might want to just stick with my first option and go red. You know, I'm going to do that. I'm going to stick with the theme. I'm going to go with my first option. With the first option, I'm going to go with red. I'm going to go with red. I'm going with whatever the first option is today. I'm sticking with that. I see a lot of blue. Most of y'all picking blue. Chris picks red. All right. Asmodeus picks red. All right. Let's ride. Let's ride. Don't be doing all that crying, Chris. I just won 2 back to back. Honestly, I'm on a 5 win streak if we dating back to yesterday. Like I said, I ripped off 3 at the end yesterday, and I started off hot today, so I'm on a 5 win streak. I'm just saying. You might want to bet with your boy. But I'm going red, though. I'm going red. See, most of y'all going on blue. All right, let's see. I'm about to start it.
Door 1, an endless mountain lake retreat. Clear water surrounded by forests and peaks. The air
let me
is
see if there's
cool
any
and
entities, though.
Time moves slower here. Food is stocked in nearby cabins.
All right,
Fresh water comes directly from the
fresh
lake.
water.
You
Okay.
may sleep in any cabin. Beds are warm and dry. Sleep
for
is
sure.
peaceful. There are no entities. Nothing hunts you. Nothing watches you.
Hey, listen, y'all. That's 6 in a row for me. I'm 3-0 today, but on a 6 win streak. Ain't no way the blue door is better than this. This is just a getaway right here.
You may explore freely. You may swim during daylight. Do not travel into the mountains at night. Rest by the water. Enjoy your stay. Door 2. You are placed on an abandoned cruise ship. It drifts endlessly at sea. The engines no longer work. The lights flicker. Food is found in storage rooms. Most of it is expired. Water must be collected from leaking pipes. You may sleep in passenger cabins. Doors do not always stay shut. Sleep is uneasy. There are no entities, but the ship is unstable. Hallways shift slightly over time. Storms cause the ship to tilt violently. Do not enter flooded areas. Do not go below deck during storms. If the ship goes silent, stay in your cabin. Endure the drift. Your time starts now.
Oh yeah. Your boy 3-0. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I'm cooking today. I'm gonna clap it up for myself on that one. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not. Voice says Sutton watches before stream. I promise you I don't. I literally have this a couple of TikTok pages, actually. My whole algorithm is filled with these since I learned you guys like them so much. And I scroll and I see them, and before I even watch them, I literally just download them and I just put them up here. And they put up new ones like every day. So that's how I've been able to do so many of these. But no, I'm being truthful. I do not watch these beforehand. I just download them. I post them up blind here. And sometimes they're really, really good and compelling, and sometimes they're a little bit, whatever. But I promise you. And you can know because I'm normally really bad at picking these. So I promise you I'm not watching these before the stream, Void. I promise. But I am hot right now, though. You know what I'm saying? Don't hate because I'm hot. You feel me? Don't hate because I'm hot right now. You know what I'm saying? 3-0 for your boy. Let's move on, though. I see a lot of 1 and 2s, some 2 and 1. Shout out to you if you're 2 and 1. That ain't bad. It just ain't 3-0, baby. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's see.
Pick a door now before either one opens. Your decision is final. The door you pick is where you will stay for the next week.
All right. Y'all know where I'm going. I'm going with the first option. I told you I'm sticking with the first option today. I'm rocking out with the first option. That's been doing me good, so that means I'm going with red. Where y'all going? Where we at with it? Next 48 hours. Red, don't fail me now. First option, don't fail me now. I'm 3-0. We got 6 today. So we still got 3. So I still could go 500. I've confirmed going 500. So I'm already in good standing right now. If I win this one, I'm confirmed to go over 500 for the day. So let's see. See if some of y'all could bounce back. Herb, you're 0-3. Kogan, you're 0-3. Let's see if y'all could bounce back. Where we at with it? Void says blue. Chris says blue. I see red. Asmodeus blue from Kogan. Blue from Tila. Kenny says blue. Coach says blue. Gang. Herb says blue. Stretch says blue. Most of y'all saying blue. Okay. Whoa, so none of y'all gonna bet with your boy? After he done hit 6 straight? I'm hot as curry in the 4th right now. And y'all still fading me. That's kind of crazy to me. But we gonna see. Ashley says red again, I suppose. Taurus, now you can't change. Ain't no switching up. Taurus. You got one chance to put it in the chat, and it's locked in. All right, so let's see. I'm team red on this one. Let's see where we at next 48 hours.
Your decision is final. The door you pick is where you will stay for the next week. Door 1, an endless hospital. The building is
It's a week. My bad.
Always repeat. Floor numbers loop. Rooms are clean.
I don't like
No
hospitals
patients are
like that.
visible. Food and bottled water are available in staff areas. You may sleep in patient rooms, but alarms interrupt rest. An entity is present. It appears
Oh,
as hospital
shit.
staff. Its goal is to make you a patient. If it captures you, you will be restrained, sedated, and dissected. Its face is never visible. If staff stop outside your room, do not open the door. If your name is called over the intercom, do not respond. Do not enter operating rooms with lights on. If a gurney appears, hide. Remain unseen. Remain unregistered. Door 2.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me watch that one again. Just so I can hold on. Hold on, y'all. And I know what y'all are gonna say. Oh, I'm cooked. Son, you cooked on this one. Somebody said I'm sauteed. Nah, we just gotta make sure. Let me just make sure that this is as bad as I think it is.
Hospital. The building is fully lit. Hallways repeat.
This is
Floor
me and
numbers
Ashley's
loop.
pick.
Rooms are clean. No patients are visible. Food and bottled water are available in staff areas.
Okay.
You may sleep in patient
Staff
rooms,
areas.
but alarms interrupt rest. An entity
Food is only
present.
in the
It
staff
appears
areas.
as hospital staff. Its goal is to make you a patient. If it captures you, you will be restrained, sedated, and dissected. Its face is never visible. If staff stop outside your room, do not open the door. If your name is called over the intercom, do not respond. Do not enter operating rooms with lights on. If a gurney appears, hide. Remain unseen. Remain unregistered. Door 2.
That's rough. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. That red door is rough. Because like it would be cool if like all the food and all your necessities were in like one central area. But they said like the food is only in like the break rooms, right? Like they said you can like hide in like patient rooms and stuff like that. But when you get hungry, you got to go out. Remember, you got to stay here for a week. When you get hungry, you got to go out and find food. And I guess the hospital staff, they're constantly like searching for you. And then it sounds terrifying. If they catch you, they sedate you and dissect you. That's rough. That's rough. But let me see what Blue Door got. Maybe Blue Door is worse. Let me see. It's not over yet. Team Red is not over yet. Let's see what Blue Door got.
A massive indoor water park. The park is powered.
Okay,
Water
these aren't
flows
always
constantly.
safe.
Slides loop endlessly. Pools connect unnaturally. Food and water are found at concession stands. Some close after use. You may sleep in locker rooms. Sleeping near pools is unsafe. Entities are present. They resemble lifeguards. If one is watching, do not swim. Float until it turns away. If the water becomes completely still, hide. Avoid running water after midnight. Your time starts now.
Ah, man. You know, I think I got to give that to Team Blue. Only because it's close, because that the Blue Door had a monster too, an entity. But it said it was a lifeguard who, as long as you stay out of the water, you don't have to worry about it and you can sleep safely in the locker rooms. You can't just stay safely in the hospital room because you have to go find food, and something's constantly hunting you. So yeah, I think that's a W for Team Blue on that one. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Your boy was on a 6-game win streak. Finally dropped one. That's okay though. That's okay though. Again, I'm still guaranteed to go 500. But your boy is 3-1. Best record I've had in weeks, by the way. Best record I've had in weeks. So I'm happy with my 3-1 record. Let me see what y'all got. Where y'all at with it? Where y'all at with it? It's a tough one, Herb. I think it's a tough one, but I think Blue definitely edges it out. They both suck though. Voids 3-1. Okay. Mike 2-2. Herb 1-3. Herb, you gotta pick it up. You gotta pick it up, man. You gotta pick it up. Taurus 2-2. Kenny 2-2. Kenny had that 5-0 day yesterday. It's getting a little bit tougher, Kenny. It's getting a little bit tougher. Let me see. Stretch 2-1-1. Man, Stretch with the ties, bro. Ain't no ties, dog. Ain't no ties. That wasn't a tie. Let me see. She like, you heard what he said. Yeah, I'm 3-1. I'm 3-1. I can't hold y'all. I can't hold y'all. Glaucoma, what's up, man? What's up? Glaucoma. All right, let's see. Let's keep it moving. I'm still doing well today. And a couple of y'all are doing really well too. Who's the other 3-1? Void. Void is also 3-1 right with me. So respect. Let's move on to the next one though. See if y'all can get this one. Let me see how many more. Okay, we got 2 left. Let's see what this one is.
You have 5 seconds to choose the portal you'll have to survive in for 1 week.
Oh yeah, this is the one that I took the picture for the thumbnail for. I've been going with that first option. And they're pointing to the first option. Oh, you missed one. Okay. I'm pointing to the first option. I've been going with nothing but the first option. I'm gonna go with the red. I'm gonna go with the red on this one. I'm gonna go with the red. I'm sticking with it. Kogan says blue. Herb says blue. Taurus says blue. Tila says red. Kenny says red. Glaucoma says blue. Asmodeus says yellow. Maybe you mean red. I don't know. Coach says purple. Right in between, huh? Okay, a little bit of both. Let me see. Voice says blue. Coach says he sees orange and purple. Wow. I see red and blue. It's a little bit like faded, right? But I see red and blue. You can also just say left or right. Herb says, Sutton, how is Ace doing? Ace is doing just fine. He is sleeping right in front of me. Right now, it's time for his midday nap. So he's doing that. Hasn't bothered me. So we good. We good. But he's doing well. Appreciate you for asking. But yeah, I'm going to go with the left side on this one, aka the red side. Mike says, I'm colorblind. I might be colorblind. I honestly do believe that I am colorblind. Like, I honestly do believe that. And it does look a little bit orange, right? But I don't know. It's right in between red and orange to me. You know. But I do think I'm colorblind. I don't know what I'm supposed to do about that. But yeah. So I'm gonna go with red. I'm gonna go with red or left or orange or whatever y'all want to call it. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let me see where we stand. We got a week. Got to stay here for a week. Let's see. Team red.
Left
Team left.
or right?
Team left. Let's go.
If you chose the left portal, your trial is a climate-controlled office floor where every cubicle is occupied by powered-on computers displaying paused login screens.
Sound like my old
Chairs
job.
are adjustable but stained and uncomfortable. Water comes from a break room sink that never runs when you need it most. You can sit, but you cannot stay seated for long. A compliance entity operates through reminder chimes and automated calendar alerts that begin to trigger closer together. Food is issued only after presenting completed work. And it is always cold and unpleasant. Each time you ignore a reminder, the workday resets to its start. Sleeping causes tasks to reassign themselves to you. You are being overworked. You are being retained. If you...
That don't sound too hot right there. I mean, just imagine your regular office job, but like you're being constantly micromanaged by a literal monster. You can't eat unless you finish these menial tasks. And the food that you do get to eat is slop. And if you eventually tire out and get exhausted, yeah, that don't sound like a good option. I mean, it don't sound like too dangerous. It just sounds like I might want to kill myself, right? By the time the week is up, or by the time 48 hours is up. That's a rough start. Let me see what Team Blue has, though.
For a reminder, the workday resets to its start. Sleeping causes tasks to reassign themselves to you. You are being overworked. You are being retained.
I could still go
If you chose the right portal, your trial is a clean commuter terminal held in permanent early evening, soft lights reflecting off polished floors that never show footprints. Benches are warm, schedules update calmly, and bottled water appears in wall coolers each time the hour changes.
Damn.
Wrapped snacks rest on side tables and are replaced overnight. You can sleep without interruption. On fluffy...
These random ass, big ass, fluffy ass, golden beds right in the middle of the train station. I don't even know how safe I would feel sleeping in the middle of a train station, but okay.
Golden beds. A gentle announcement reminds passengers to remain within public areas and keep personal items with them. Never forget this rule. You are safe here as long as you never follow the unmarked hallway beside the information desk. You have
yeah. That's a W for Team Blue. That's a W for Team Blue. Can't lie to you. Can't lie to you. Damn. That's 2 back-to-back L's right there. So, I mean, 3 and 2, still not bad. Still not bad. Drop your record in the chat. We got one more bonus round. We got one more bonus round coming up next. One more bonus round. It's going to be a pray and hide, just like yesterday. 3 and 2, not bad. Me and Coach on the same level, 3 and 2. I like it. Glaucoma just had his first one. Easy dub, 1 and 0. Void is 4 and 1. Shout out to you, Void. Tila 2 and 3. Yeah, at risk of going under 500. We got one more bonus round if you want to, redeem yourself and go 500 or higher. One more bonus round. Mike says should have stayed with the blue option, 2 and 3. Taurus right there with me and Coach, 3 and 2. Herb 2 and 3. Herb had a little bit of a comeback. I like that. He says the entity does kill you, though. I don't know if they said that the entity kills you, but again, I think you might want to off yourself after a couple hours of that. It's already bad enough being micromanaged just at a normal job. Being micromanaged by, a monster, like a quite literal monster. Hell no. But yeah, 3 and 2. All right, we got one more bonus round. Again, it's going to be a pray and hide on this one. You got to call your shot. You got to choose your number and hide and just hope that they don't catch your number. If the monster catches and kills your number, you're out. So if you choose the winning number, you win this round. This one is probably the hardest of them all probability-wise. So let's see. Let's see what y'all do. Bonus round. Here we go.
Hide and pray.
All right. We got a couple seconds here to pick a number. You got to pick a number. I think the monster, yesterday they came from the bottom. I think the monster is probably going to come from the top, I would assume, in this one. But you got to pick a winning number. Which one do you think is going to be safe? The monster's going to go around killing some of these numbers. Which ones does he not find? Pick your number. I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with 4 in the bottom left corner. I'm going to go with 4. Hopefully he don't travel that far. Hopefully he kills enough before he gets to 4. That's what I'm going to say. Let me see what y'all saying in the chat. Coach says 9. Let me see. 9. Is that a good choice? I don't know, Coach. I don't know. That seemed a little iffy to me, but you never know. Crazy things happen. Crazier things have happened. Herb says, give me 0. I know that's right. Chris says 5. Kenny says 6. Tila, rocking with me, says 4. Glaucoma says 6. Stretch says 10. Kogan says 3. This is why I love these, because everybody picks different answers, and you really only get like a couple winners. Void says 8. Asmodi says 9. Herb says 6. Mike says 6. What do you say? If you're watching the replay of this episode, comment down below and don't cheat. Don't you cheat, right? Be honest, right? Leave the number that you picked before I go ahead and hit and I spin this. Let me see. Tila says, oh gosh, I'm caught. Thanks, Sutton. I've been doing pretty well for myself. I don't know what the slander is still about. I really don't. But all right, whatever. Cool me. All right. So I'm going with 4. Let's see which number survives. All right, so coming from the top. 3. Cook. 9 still safe. Wow. Oh, 10. Over with. Oh, shit. Get away from 4. Get away. Oh, my gosh, bro. Did 4 fart? 2 cook. Wow, dog. Look at 5. Darting around. Uh-oh. Went right to 9. Damn. 5. 5 really snaked 9. That's crazy. 7 out of there. 4 definitely sold. 6 out of there.
Hide and pray.
Okay. I like it. Who was that that got the W? I think it was 5-1 and one other one. It was 5-1 and then one last one. Let me see. 5-1 and 8. 5-1 and 8. That's a W for y'all. Damn, man. Let me see who picked 5-1 and 8. Void picked 8. Chris picked 5. Okay. Anybody pick 1? King Raven pick 8. Congrats to you. Congrats to you. These are the hardest to win, man. 5 definitely. 5 definitely hoed you, coach. Definitely hoed 9. Definitely did. Tila says that was you, son. Tila, stop playing with me. That was our 4 that sold us out like that. Ah, man. Void went 5-1 today. That's hey, shout out to Void. Void got the W today. Clap it up for Void. He had the best record. Shout out to Void. Clap it up. Yeah, man. I mean, I went 3-3 today. I started off very hot. You know, it was kind of the opposite of yesterday, right? Yesterday I started off real slow and then I heated up. Today I started off super hot and then I cooled down. I don't know what that's about, but I'm still chasing these over 500 days. Today I didn't go under 500. I'm sitting right at the line at 3-3. So I'm happy with my performance today overall. Hopefully I can bounce back tomorrow. But congratulations to you, Chris, as well for winning that last one. The bonus rounds are tough. I might start counting the bonus rounds as 2 wins. How y'all feel about that? I might start counting the bonus rounds as 2 wins, the hide and praise, because those are tough. Those are really, really tough to call. Yeah, but that was a lot of fun, y'all. That was a lot of fun. Liminal horror, of course, this is like damn near a daily thing for us here on Sutton Reactions. We have a lot of fun with those. It is 10:22 right now, and I know we have the Jesse Minter presser coming up. I know most of you guys watching in here are Ravens fans, so hell, man. I mean, why not? Why not? Why not watch the Jesse Minter introductory press conference on screen here, on live here? How does that sound, y'all? I mean, we still got 8 minutes, so maybe we can react to maybe 1 or 2 things before that. But what do y'all say? What do y'all say? I think that would be fun. It's like a might as well. We got to do a week ending total for sure, for sure. Hey, Stretch, I might have to hire you, man, to keep track of some of this stuff. I might have to hire you. Keep track of some of this. Yeah. Just got the notification a few minutes ago. Says glaucoma. Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up. We can watch it together, y'all. We can watch it together. I'll stream it on here. The live. That should be fun. All right. Let me see what we can react to in the meantime, in between time. How about we go with Gen Z is not drinking alcohol at the same rate as millennials, Gen Xers, boomers. And why is that?
Gen Z has drank less than any generation in history. They damn near not drinking at all, to the point where Vegas tourism is down dramatically. Clubs is down dramatically. Gen Z drinks 87% less alcohol than prior generations. The alcohol industry has lost over $830 billion. So if you want to go by, what's up, fool? If you want to go by generations, the boomers, they were capping at about 25 billion on alcohol sales. Gen X, 23.1 billion on alcohol sales. And then the millennials, us, we spiked it up a little bit, 23.4 billion. Gen Z's only at 3.1 billion.
A big thing too is efficiency. Gen Z want to bang for their buck. And you know, and to return on their investment. So why would I go spend $200 tonight, right? Wake up with a crazy hangover, you know, fucking throwing up and shit, when I can just go down to the weed shop, spend $40, get high, have munchies, giggle, laugh, and then wake up tomorrow and be completely fine. So a lot of Gen Z has traded it for that. Or if you want to go extreme, you got niggas doing Xans and pills. And
exactly. Gen Z is they more on their health tip. That's why these gyms, you go to these gyms, you see the little mushroom top in there with pajama pants and Crocs. Them niggas is in there getting it in.
He right.
Them little niggas is in there.
They do.
What they call is look maxing now. They really caring about how they look. We can get into that look maxing shit too.
Looks maxing.
Gay. But they really are caring about their physical fitness more than generations that have passed.
Hey, so I mean, you heard it there. Gen Z, just statistically, they're not buying alcohol. They're not consuming alcohol nearly as much as before. And, I think you can mainly attribute something like that to honestly just the lack of need, right, to really go out anymore, right? There's really no incentive for you as a young adult to get up, get dressed, go out to clubs and bars and all things like that when literally everything that you need to kind of fulfill your, I guess you could say, like, entertainment needs, right? Your fun needs. You can sit at home, watch Netflix, order in, right? Like he mentioned, a lot of people are going out and getting weed nowadays more than ever. Weed is legalized in a lot of different states, recreationally or even medicinally. You can get it. There's easy access to it now, so people are opting. I feel like younger adults are opting in more so for that, right? And then, like they mentioned as well, I mean, they don't want to pay for the hangover, which I mean, I understand. Me personally, I'm a millennial, and I personally love me a little drinky drink. You feel it? If you feel me, yeah, I'm a sipper. You dig? Um, but I can understand why the younger generation, especially the younger generation, they not just smoking weed. They got these vapes now. They got these vape pens. I mean, they don't even need. You know what I'm saying? They don't need nothing. Like everything is conveniently right there for them. I mean, you can watch any movie you want on Netflix or Amazon Prime, Hulu, whatever you got, HBO. You know, I think there's just and then of course you have social media, right? So if you want to keep up with your friends, just go on their stories and watch what everybody else is doing for the weekend, or whatever. Like I just feel like, again, kids nowadays don't really have much of an incentive, right, to go out. You don't have to go out to meet people, to talk to new people. You don't have to do any of that. You can do all of it from the comfort of your own home on this little guy, on your iPhone, right? Void says here, from what I see, from what I see as a Gen Z, see they also have vapes, yep, pens, other drinks, each other's zins. I never heard of that. On top of drinks, too many options. That or they just lie about drinking habits. I've seen that a lot. Yeah, I've seen people even in my generation, because I'm a young millennial at that, and even a lot of the people who are millennials, they're on these vapes and stuff like that, and I just, ugh, it's tough. People who are on that stuff 24/7. You ever seen somebody who's like addicted to their vape? You ever seen them lose their vape? Insane. Insane. They go insane. Let me see. Mog says, I fought the good fight, graduated and got some reparations and got the F out of the game. Glad to hear that, brother. Glad to hear that. Torres says, if I was born in the 70s, I might hit that powder once. That is crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, but they was definitely on that white back in the 70s. Oh yeah, yes sir, yes sir. I mean, a lot of them is doing today too. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. You go to certain parties, people be in them bathrooms for too long. Trust me, trust me. I've seen it. I know, I know. Fentanyls and everything now though. Yeah, yeah. That's the sad part. That's the sad part. That is the sad part. Kogan says you could also argue how that generation probably doesn't feel comfortable in crowded places with all of the mass shootings that are prevalent in society today. That's another good point. I mean, again, even just for your own safety, there really is no benefit to being outside. People used to go outside because you had to be outside if you wanted to meet people, if you wanted to meet new friends, if you wanted to meet a potential partner, a companion, right? You had to go out and meet somebody. Nowadays, you do not have to do that. You can do it all online. So that decreases the need for, a social lubricant like alcohol to be necessary. And that's just the bottom line. Glaucoma says, then again, I'm barely Gen Z and me and my friends be drunker than a motherfucker. What you be drinking, Glaucoma? What you be drinking? All right, let's go to the presser. Let's go to the presser. I think it is about to start. I don't think it started yet. No, they haven't started yet. We're going to bring it up, though. We're going to bring it up. That was just a little fun topic there. Folks do still go outside. I just don't think to the same level as they used to, simply because it's just not a necessity. All right, but let's see. Let's go ahead and take this off of here and get over to Jesse Minter. new Ravens head coach, and let's see what he has to say here in his first media appearance for the Baltimore Ravens. All right. Still loading up over there, it looks like. But we're about to hear from the man himself. Minter is coming. Minter is coming. Me too, Stretch. I'm really, really interested to see what his philosophy will be. And I think we'll learn a little bit about that. It depends on who's asking questions. I know that, Zaribek normally asks some pretty good questions. Friend of the show, Cordell Woodland, normally asks some pretty good questions. And I know he'll ask them today. Fire EDC. EDC is he's on a clock. He's on the clock right now. That's for sure. That is for sure. Promise you that. Promise you that. All right, let's make sure that's good. It is. Boy, still not out there yet. Still not out there yet. All right. Hashtag fire Jesse Minter. I don't know why you don't like Jesse Minter, man. I just learned yesterday that Jesse Minter is left-handed. He's a left-handed individual. And as a left-handed individual myself, I know a little bit of how his brain works because left-handed people tend to be right-brained people. And there's a lot that comes with those type of folks. And, imagination, creativity, spatial reasoning, some more stuff that right-brained people excel with. Oh, here we go.
Chad, thanks. Something's wrong with Steve, Oz, and Dick are sitting down there watching us. I can tell you that. But thanks for being here. Thanks for coming. Special and really exciting day. I'll be brief, throw it over to Eric, and then we'll open up with Jesse's remarks. I want to first acknowledge it's great to see a number of our former and a couple of our current players here. Always great to have the family back in the building, so thanks, guys, for being here and appreciate that. Exciting time for us. 30 years in the books of Ravens football history here in Baltimore, and we're at an important time for our locker room. We know we have the talent to go out and pursue championships now. When we set out to find our new coach, we wanted to make sure that we were very serious about bringing a great leader, but also a great person to this organization, to our locker room, and we found that in Jesse Minter, who will be the next Ravens head coach. Eric did a fantastic job leading our process. It was fun and intense working with him, but left with a true reestablished appreciation for him and his work and his team. We're really excited.
What does Sashi Brown even do?
As our
Real
coach.
talk.
And I'll turn it over to Eric.
Yeah, thanks, Sashi. Shout out to our players and our legends that are here today. It's great to see you guys. Steve challenged us a few weeks ago to find the next coach who would be here for 18 years. And if we do our job, I won't be here, which is great. We spent
You might not be
2
here
weeks.
next
It was
year.
a sprint to the finish. We talked to at least 20 candidates in different formats, Zoom, in person, on the phone. Really, really proud of the process. And
I
it
hate the
became
helmet placement
apparent
on the
quickly
table, too. I hate that.
that Jesse Minter was the right guy to be our next head football coach. Jesse's smart. He's a leader. He's got great humility. He's a problem solver, a great tactician. We've enjoyed watching his defenses play. And he started at the bottom. And now he's here. And I think that's great. And I'm so happy
All right, shut
to work
up,
with him as a
Eric.
partner.
Please just pass it over.
The coming months and coming years. and I think this is a great day for the Baltimore Ravens.
Mute up.
Jesse?
Thank you.
Thank you. I also want to shout out the players for being here. I really appreciate that, and the former players as well. Great to see all you guys. I'm truly honored and humbled to be here as the head football coach of the Baltimore Ravens. I want to thank Steve Bisciotti, Eric DeCosta, Ozzie Newsome, Sashi Brown, Dick Cass, and the entire organization for their trust and belief in me to lead this football team. Didn't get here on my own. Really want to shout out the Spanos family, Joe Ortiz, Jim Harbaugh, and the Chargers for the wonderful opportunity to serve as the defensive coordinator there the last 2 years. Joe and Jim's guidance in particular, their mentorship has meant the world to me and has helped me prepare me for this moment. I also want to thank the defensive staff there, guys I work with every day. Most importantly, the players. Cherished our time together, wish them the best, love all you guys. To my family, my parents, my brother, my in-laws, my nieces and nephews, thank you. I'm incredibly grateful to take this next step alongside my wife, Rachel. She's my best friend. Our children, Millie, Monty, and Mac, who are now superstars thanks to the Twitter and YouTube videos that were out on them last night. You guys mean everything to me, and we're on this journey together as we always have been. Now it's time to get to work. We get to go to work. The we is important. It takes everybody to be successful. I look forward to empowering our players, the coaches that we bring in. We will create our own standards that will allow us to reach our ultimate goals together. Thank you again. The responsibility to the city of Baltimore and the state of Maryland is not lost on me. It's one I look forward to. I look forward to going to work to prove the decision of these men up here right. And to our players, I really can't wait to get to work with you guys. We will build a true team built on toughness, fundamentals, team that plays together, and we will work to be the best team in the National Football League. And we will be at our best when our best is needed. I think that's really important.
Okay.
To the Ravens flock, thank you.
You're welcome.
My family and I, we feel your passion and energy. We are thrilled to join the great fan base again, and we will make you all proud. Thank you.
Yep. Jesse. This is Jameis Hensley with ESPN. Welcome back to the Ravens.
Thank you.
Brother.
One of the reasons there is a coaching change here is because of the underperforming in the postseason. What is kind of, you touched upon it a little bit there, but what is kind of your vision to elevate this team to that next level?
That's a great question, Jameson. I appreciate that. I really think building a really cohesive team that all the work that you do leads to being successful in those opportunities. So I think we will create standards that match the goals that we want to achieve, and then work every day tirelessly to get to that point. Our plan will be built on being at our best late in the season, into the playoffs, and look forward to that challenge.
Jesse, Jeff Zaribek from The Athletic.
All right, Jeff, let's go,
Can you talk
Jeff.
about this process and what was it like to go through it? I guess you interviewed with almost every team. Was it the Ravens opening that you sort of circled at the beginning and thought, this is where I want to be if we can work this out?
Yeah, great question, Jeff. Great to see you again. I think when the process started, you really have no idea what jobs are going to be open as you get towards the middle end of the season. You feel like you might be a candidate, but when this job opened, this became the one for me, and this was the one that I wanted. I did go through the initial process with a lot of different teams, but as I was able to reconnect with people in this organization and knowing the history, knowing the tradition, knowing the spine of the organization, kind of what it's built on, there was no better place for me.
See, Brian Wacker, Baltimore Sun. You've already mentioned that you've spoken with Lamar. Just curious, when did that conversation take place, and what was the gist of it, and how do you envision getting the most out of somebody who's obviously already been a two-time MVP?
Good question.
Lamar and I have had multiple conversations. It's been great.
Multiple
it's been great to get to
conversations.
know him. I think
Getting to know
relationships
Lamar.
take time.
They do.
And so you don't become the head coach of the Ravens and expect to have a deep relationship with anybody. So those take time. We've been working towards that already. We've had wonderful conversations. Look forward to many, many more. But Lamar, I just look forward to connecting with him, helping him become the best version of himself, creating a team identity that allows him to thrive, which he's already, proven to be an elite, one of the best player in the National Football League, and put a team around him that allows him to reach that ultimate goal bringing a Super Bowl back to Baltimore.
Jesse, Pete Gilbert here with WBAL TV. Welcome back. And I'm curious, did you get a chance to talk with John Harbaugh about this job? And what are some of the things he offered maybe to you about why you might fit in here so well as the head coach?
Yeah, I've talked to Coach a couple times. Tons of respect for John. The 18 years here, wonderful success, probably, Super Bowl, probably in the Ring of Honor one day. And so tons of respect for everything that he's done. We've had just a couple of small conversations. He knows how I feel about this place. He did text me like, I think they should hire you. That was just one of the texts he sent, so I appreciated that. But love John, and really just like, man, take the foundation in place and build on it and make it better and put my own spin on it and not try to be John Harbaugh, not try to be Jim Harbaugh, be myself, connect with everybody, make it about all of us, and I really look forward to doing that.
Ask him
Jesse
what he
Ryan
wants in
with
his
BaltimoreRavens.com.
offensive coordinator.
Eric mentioned you worked your way up from the bottom here, starting as a defensive assistant. Can you reflect on that journey and how much more special it makes it to work your way up that way?
It
What's
makes
up,
it really
King Lee?
special. I went into this process, and I told Eric this, like, it wasn't because I knew everybody here that I wanted this job. It was because of my time here that I was able to see how this place operates and knowing that everything is in place to be a championship organization. And so that, I think my time being here allowed me to see that. Certainly just have the respect and humility of working your way up, and now I think anybody that comes into our coaching staff, comes into our organization, it's like you put your head down and you go to work and you work every day to try to be the best, whatever that role is, whether it's the defensive assistant, the assistant defensive backs coach, the defensive backs coach, now as the head coach. If you really focus on that and try to be the best at your job, anything's possible. And so great to have that, great opportunity, and look forward to the journey.
Hey, Jesse. Jonas Schaefer from the Baltimore Banner. Some Chargers players that you coached last year described you as an alpha. Talking to some coaches and players who you worked with in the past said that wasn't really the Jesse Miller that they remember working with. I guess, can you talk about your evolution to a guy who can command the room, especially in the NFL with as many egos and big time names as there are?
Yeah.
I think it's learning. It's just always trying to evolve, always trying to get better. I think when I came in here, I had been a small college defensive coordinator, so I had stood up in front of the room and called defenses before and done those things, but I really made it a point here to come in and learn and listen and get to know the players and learn from them about what it took to be successful at this level. And so had great players around, great coaches to work with. And then just my confidence has grown as I've been in those positions now.
You're going to need it
for a while. Been in the leadership positions. Your confidence grows. Your own style sort of begins to come out. And so I think that's the involvement. But it's really about trying to get better every day, trying to learn and grow and learn from everybody, listen to people, and always be trying to get better. And I think that's what's led me to this point.
Yeah, it's very political
Luke
right
Jones,
now. A lot of
WNST,
political
welcome.
answers.
You being a
as I
defensive
predicted.
guy, a lot of questions about, do you plan on calling your defense?
Yeah.
And if so, how do you delegate that, knowing your responsibilities and scope of that is so much more than being a defensive coordinator?
I do plan on calling the defense. Great
Yes, sir.
question.
Okay, cool. There we
I
go.
think that's a strength of mine. I
That was a
think that's one of
given,
the
though.
reasons I'm sitting here. But I also think it's my leadership qualities. And I really look forward. I have a really good process, I feel, to do what I need to do to be ready to call the game, but also have the ability to be the head coach.
You're going to have a play
impact
sheet in
the
front of him
entire
like
roster,
this.
the entire team, make sure that it's our offense,
You're going to
our
be calling
defense,
plays, y'all.
our special teams, and that there's no divide there, and I know that I'm in charge of all that. But it starts with the relationships with the people in the building, particularly the players, and I think they'll feel my competitiveness, they'll feel my mentality every day, and I think we'll work hand in hand together to build a great team.
I mean, he gonna be calling
Jesse
the plays.
Cordell
on defense.
Woodland
I like that.
here
All
from
right, let's go,
105.7
Cordell.
The Fan. I am curious about, you have a guy in Kyle Hamilton on the defensive side of the ball. He's been used kind of all over the field in this defense. What is kind of your vision for a guy like Kyle Hamilton?
Great question. Kyle is a weapon. He is a positionless defensive player that I would classify as a weapon on defense. And so as much as you can do to get a guy like Kyle near the point of attack, I think is what you try to do as a designer, play caller. And so could not be more thrilled to be able to work with Kyle. I've had a couple really good conversations with him already. And I know he's excited, and I'm excited to work with him alongside all the really great players
already
that we have in this organization.
Charles Walker with the Baltimore Banner. The relationships between the coach and the general manager have been very important here. So I guess I would ask both Jesse and Eric, do you feel the fact that you guys do have some background together will let you sort of hit the ground running that way? And will the structure be similar to what it was in the past, where you both report to Steve, or will the chain of command be any different?
I think it's a partnership with Eric and I, and that's really what I was looking for in this whole process, was a partnership, somebody that you really, really trust. I do think the background of how Eric operates was what I was most excited about, having seen him do this job prior. And so couldn't be more thrilled about our relationship beginning to grow and beginning to develop. And I know that we see football the same. We see what building a team looks like the same. And there's nobody I'd rather be sitting next to than Eric DeCosta.
Hey, Jesse, Morgan Atzett with Fox 45. As far as coaching hires, are there any that you can confirm? And as far as offensive and defensive coordinator go, how is that search going?
Here we go.
What's the timeline, and what are you looking for in those particular two positions?
Yep, great question, Morgan.
Yeah, great question. I won't confirm any hires at this point. Both of those searches are going really well. They're very far along, I would say.
Oh, okay.
We're finalizing a few of those pieces.
Okay.
I'm looking for leaders and connectors and relationship builders and schematic expertise. But most importantly, guys, that the players believe in, that they're willing to dive deep and build real strong relationships with the players. I think when they feel that it's collaborative and they feel that it's ours and not just the coaches and this is what the players do, this is what the coaches do, it's all of us.
This is the best part right
so
here.
I'm excited about the people involved in those searches right now, and I look forward to sharing those in the near future.
So they're close to hiring OC and DC. They're finalizing some positions right now.
As you went through
and
this
he's
process,
valuing leadership and collaboration with players and his coordinators. Love that.
Made the decision as a group and said, Jesse is the guy that we want, and what was it that kind of tipped the scales in that direction?
Yeah, good question, Garrett. I think first I really want to thank Sashi and
Great
Ozzy
answer.
and Derek Yam was a big part of this as well, and everybody else. And we got a lot of information. We talked to many, many people, and we had a number of Zooms. We got them scheduled very quickly. We started almost immediately with our process, and as I said, it was a sprint. We treated it like a 2-week draft, essentially. In most cases, we'd have 2 interviews a day, various times of the day, and it was just really interesting. I think,
the video, y'all.
Valuable for me personally to talk to all these extremely intelligent, great leaders from other teams to see kind of how they do things. And I learned a lot. And it's not something that you want to do every year, certainly. But to do it once, I think, was a very, very valuable experience for me. And I think Ozzy and Sashi would say the same thing. As we went through the first round, we started to see patterns develop, and we really did kind of come out with 4 or 5 people that we thought were probably for us the cream of the crop, or at least the finalists that we would envision. Obviously, the rules, NFL rules, make it difficult to interview all the candidates the same way, given that some teams are still playing. So we came out of the process, I think, and we were talking about the next step. Most of our interviews have been over Zoom. We brought some guys in. Jesse was one of those guys that we brought in as a finalist, and he just blew us away in person. I mean, as good as his Zoom interview was, I think spending time with him in Baltimore was even more valuable. And I think at that point, while he was with me in my office, I started to imagine Jesse as our head coach and what that might look like. And as we got feedback from other people, from Steve, from Ozzy, from Sashi, everybody who had a chance to contribute, it became very apparent that Jesse was really the guy that we would target to be our next head coach.
Keith Mills from WBAL in Baltimore. You received a tremendous amount of praise from a lot of guys that you coached with along your journey. One of them was from P.J. Volker, defensive coordinator at the Naval Academy. What was that journey like coming through with so many guys that are doing well? Was there a moment in time also when you thought, hey, I can do this, I can be a head coach in the NFL?
Yeah, I appreciate that question. I think just being able to come up with so many great coaches that I've worked with along the way. PJ and I were college teammates. Love what he's done over there at the Naval Academy, him and Coach Newberry with that defense. And so I think just the experience of going through it and being able to observe John Harbaugh, the guys that have been really successful in these type of roles. I think as I got to the Chargers, especially after my first year, being back in the NFL and now being in a leadership position as a coordinator, I felt like I could do the job, and I felt like I was preparing myself for this moment, for this opportunity. So the last year especially, I really felt strongly that I was getting more and more prepared to be in this situation, and I was hoping for an opportunity during this cycle. And then sure enough, the Lord works in mysterious ways, and this job opened up, and it was a match made in heaven for me and my family.
Jesse, over here, Jerry Coleman from the Be More Football podcast on 100.7 The Bay. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Question for you and for Eric.
They need to let
For
your boy up
how
there
surreal
ask
is
some
it to be back
questions.
here with the bigger office, as you talked about? And what transpired with you leaving and going to Vanderbilt? Can you take us through
Bro,
that?
we don't
And then,
care
Eric, can
about
you
this, dog.
Take us through, I know Steve had wanted some of the
How are you
going
gonna
to
force turnovers in the playoffs?
Hamilton,
What's
guys
the
like
plan?
that involved in some of the
Like what?
process. Take us through that if you could, as far as you can.
Yeah, so 2020, COVID year, I was a defensive backs coach here, and Wink was the D coordinator. We had a great defensive staff. It's been well documented what all those coaches are doing now. And it was really just a kind of a shoot-your-shot moment for myself. Hit it off with Clark Lee, who's still a dear friend, who's the head coach at Vanderbilt. He reached out to me about being his defensive coordinator, kind of hit it off, decided to do it, decided to leave.
Me and Alex are going to react
really
to that
just on my own accord, and
later
and
today.
wanted the opportunity to kind of run the defense and see if what I had learned here could be put into action. And so that was a great part of my journey, going with Clark, who's now one of my best friends in the profession. Went from there to Michigan, and then from there to the Chargers, and back here. So it was definitely a major part of me
What are some
being prepared
things
to be in this situation
that
now.
you're going to do to turn up this pass rush that's been
Yeah,
lacking?
Jerry, so we had a small group of players.
You did it with Oweh. How are you going to do it
split
here?
evenly,
That's what I want to
offense,
know.
defense. Could have picked a lot of guys. We tried to pick a small group of veteran players that had inquired about being a part of the process.
Softball-ass
They
questions.
had the opportunity to come in to Baltimore or be a part of a Zoom. We had both. We had some guys on Zoom. We had some guys that were in person. And they met with all the finalists. So over the last week of the process, they met with all the candidates that were coming in. And I can also say that some of our players are still involved in the process and will be involved with the process as pertains to coordinators and other hires as well, which we're excited about. Their opinion was valuable, very helpful. They came at it from a different perspective as players.
Mike, you missed it.
The
They
feedback
said,
that we got from the candidates
they're close to
was
hiring OC and DC.
fantastic.
They're finalizing
I think
some guys.
The questions and the approaches that they attacked it with,
You missed nothing
very
else.
thoughtful and helpful, I think, in the overall decision.
Eric ain't
Yeah,
talking
Jesse,
about nothing.
Cliff Brown, Baltimore Ravens Media. I read a story about you that you still keep all the rejection letters you got when you were trying to start your coaching career from schools. One, can you talk about why you did that? And if you still, even to this day, kind of have a chip on your shoulder to kind of prove anyone who may doubt your ability.
Hell, just say, I mean,
That's
you
a
don't
great
even have to
question,
do that,
Cliff.
Muggs.
Yeah, I've kept
Just say
those
we gonna
along
teach
the
some new
way,
technique.
and I don't think it's more.
Something.
I think my mindset has shifted maybe in the last 5 or 6 years to away from proving people wrong and more to proving people right. I think become a little bit more of an optimist, positive thinker when you want to prove people right rather
didn't
than
float
the
any names.
negative connotation of proving people wrong. But I think those were more about staying humble, knowing that this profession, there's nothing guaranteed in this profession. It doesn't owe you anything. And every opportunity is a wonderful opportunity. So, just trying to get your foot in the door in the very beginning, and you never know. And then finally somebody gives you that shot and you appreciate it. Then you respect the people that didn't, and try to work, just really try to work really hard, stay humble, be where your feet are. And that's just a reminder of those different opportunities throughout my career.
It's giving
David
Harbaugh
Andrade with
isms.
Ravens Spanish Radio here. Welcome, bienvenido.
It's giving Harbaugh 2.0.
How would you describe your football identity in one sentence? And What do you want this team to be known with people around the film?
A good
Football
question.
identity, I would say, is physical, tough, relentless, together. I think when people turn on our film, I want them to see a team that's really well connected, that plays for each other. And I think when you do that, when you
Yeah.
play like a Raven, you know, you play together. It's more about everybody that's out there with you. You're not just playing for yourself. You're playing for everybody. There's a physicality that comes along with that. There's a mental and physical toughness that comes along with that. There are schematic things that come along with that. Like
I love
all
how
the
it's all
great
we,
coaches
it's all
over time that have
together,
been here, that have led
cohesive.
historical
That's how you have an
outputs
offense
on
that
both sides of the
complements the
ball.
defense.
I think that all encompasses what it means to play like a Raven, and
That's a
really
fact.
look forward to building that with our team, creating our own identity in that regard, and building on what's been done here in the past.
That's a W.
Jesse, Sam
That's a
Cohen,
W right there for
Sam.
Mike.
Came up
For Jesse.
working a lot with your dad, and you've worked with a lot of great coaches throughout the years. Just curious for you, who's been your biggest or one of your biggest coaching influences that sort of helped you figure out who you plan to be as a head coach?
Yeah, I would say, you know, I heard my dad say this the other day, and it kind of hit me. You know, the first half of my career, there was nobody more influential than my dad. It was my first person I worked for out of college. I was an
Ricky
intern for him.
Minter.
Obviously, we've been together at quite a few stops. And then when I came here in 2017, kind of got alongside both Harbaughs over the last part of my career. And so I would say those three been very influential on me. All of their own different styles, all different. And so I've tried to take things from all of them that help prepare me to be myself and be the best head coach I can be.
Hi, Jesse. Karita Parks, Bowie TV. You touched on it earlier as far as building a relationship with Lamar, but how will you approach building a relationship with the entire team? And then also, when you saw the roster, what stood out to you the most?
Yeah. Relationships just take time, you know, so it's constant conversations, it's reaching out, it's getting together, it's listening. I think that's a major piece of relationships is listening and having conversations and hearing people. And so that'll be done with everybody. There's certainly a lot of guys on the team and really look forward to having very strong relationships with all of them. And the second part, can you repeat that? Yeah, I mean, unbelievable caliber of people first and players. So players that have been like MVPs, Defensive Player of the Years, Pro Bowls. There's great talent here. The roster's been really well constructed. We've see football the same way of the kind of team you want to build. And so really just looking forward to getting to work with those guys. There's a great roster in place, but it takes a lot of work, and it takes being together, and it takes being committed to doing things a certain way to achieve the results that we want to achieve. So I most look forward to taking the roster, getting to know them really well, building relationships, working together to build the type of team that we feel like will help us win championships.
Hey, Jesse, Noah Trister, Associated Press. I'm curious, when you look at what the Ravens did last year defensively, what are some of the most important areas of improvement in your mind?
Yeah, I'll dive deep
Good
into
question.
that, over the
Good
next month or so.
He's not going to answer it today.
And so
All
I have a
politics
ton of
today.
respect for the coaches that have been here.
I feel it, though.
The players. And so, I think about defense a certain way. They'll learn how I think about it and how I feel about it. I think there's a fundamental level required to play great defense that we will harp on tremendously. And so I look forward to getting with the guys, them to kind of learn my thoughts on how you play great defense, and I look forward to going to work on that.
There you go. Love that. Put your own stamp on the defense. That's what I like. That's all I wanted to hear. Teach new techniques. Love that.
My question's for Eric and Sashi. Just this is your first time in this kind of process. Just take us through, like, anything surprise you as you went through this process?
Yeah, I'll take that, Ken. So I was part of the John Harbaugh process as well in that search with Steve and Ozzie and Dick and some others. And back then, we didn't know what Zoom was. There was no Zoom. We had a bunch of guys that came in, talented coaches came to the building. We met with them all day, and we came up with a couple finalists. And I think with Zoom, we've lived that world. You have the chance to talk to a lot of people and gather as much information as you can. And I think there's a great value to an organization to go through that process this way. It was time consuming. It took a lot of people, other people, Nick Matteo, Jen Hoffman, Megan McLaughlin. Like, there were a lot of people that were very, very involved.
EDC does seem like very troubled
We learned
nowadays.
a lot, and
Doesn't
we
he,
had a chance
Torres?
to canvas a wide net and talk to the very, very
Nowhere
best people
near
in the
as
NFL.
comfortable
And I think
as
that
he
made this
used to look.
process thorough and also very good for the Ravens.
Yeah, I think he's right. The integration of technology allows us to talk to a lot more people in a very short amount of time, which is an opportunity and a challenge because you've got to distill all that information and then get to important candidates to your next round. I think what was unique here, and
What does
I wouldn't
this
say
dude
surprise
do?
us, but I think emboldened us about our decision around Jesse was just how much inbound feedback we got when people understood we were talking to him. Players, coaches from all of his stops. We wouldn't even have to reach out. We were intentional about reaching out. But we prize understanding what other people who worked alongside
Bateman
him,
and Sarah beefing?
were coached by him.
That's crazy.
Felt about him as a person.
That's crazy.
But also as a coach. And so that was a really pleasant surprise and a great influence on us through the process.
Hi, Alex from WJZ, generously ceded his question to me. I'm Kyle Goon from the Baltimore Banner. Nice to see you, Jesse. My question, though, is for Eric. I think Steve said a few weeks ago that candidates who were known to the Ravens would sort of be graded on a curve. You guys would have to kind of look for ways to, see what you didn't already know about them. I was wondering for Eric and Sashi, what did that look like for Jesse? And also, just Eric, kind of posing Child's question again, is Jesse reporting to Steve? Is sort of a partnership like you had with John?
Yeah, so I could say that, when I heard Jesse's name as a possible candidate, it was hard for me to envision Jesse like he is because my experience was with Jesse primarily in the draft years ago when he was doing all the bottom guys on the draft board.
EDC looked
in
like
the
he on
secondary,
trial right
and
now.
I just didn't really ever think of him like that. But I know, and that's me being honest, I'm just, but watching him last year, we played these guys last year, and watching that defense, I'm like, damn, this is a good team. This is a really good defense. And Jesse's doing a hell of a job. And then I think for me, as I started talking to people like Joe Ortiz or Tony Jefferson or Eric Weddle or other people that I talked to, even before I met on the Zoom with Jesse, my opinion started to change, just like it would with a player in the draft who maybe you see him playing against a bad team and he doesn't play that great or whatever it is, but then you watch him against better competition, he plays better and better and better and better, and you're like, this guy's really, really good. So I think it takes a whole process of accumulating information and really kind of removing all the biases that you have in your head. So that's one thing I would say. The second thing, I think that this organization, we've had a lot of success in a situation where the head coach and the general manager are partners and both report to the owner. I mean, we won 2 Super Bowls that way.
Hey, that's
We won a
facts.
lot of games that way, and we believe in that system, working together, fighting together, and figuring things out together. And so I'm very proud of my relationship with Coach Harbaugh. And I started out at the bottom as well, like Jess, back as a player personnel assistant. And I was blessed to watch Ozzie with Coach March Broda and Coach Billick and Coach Harbaugh. For me, that became the standard. And that's what I aspire to, and I believe Jesse feels the same way.
Thanks, John. So if we can have the extended family up and players, legends, and current guys, if you can kind of gather over here, we want to do a picture with you guys afterwards. Okay?
You better take a picture with the legends? For what? Well, you saw it / heard it there first, folks. That was Jesse Minter and him, that was his debut to the Ravens media. Jesse Minter's debut to the Ravens media. Not a whole lot of, no bombshells, nothing breaking out of that. But I would say the main takeaways are this. Number one, Jesse Minter has confirmed he is going to be calling the defense. So that is a positive, right? Jesse Minter is going to call the defense. Another takeaway is that when it comes to the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator hires, they are far along, his words, not mine, quote unquote, far along in the process, and they are finalizing some things. So that tells me that we could have either an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator very, very soon here, within the next, probably before the weekend. I think that they would, they would want to ink a deal with an OC or a DC, or maybe both, before the weekend. They said they're finalizing things. I know they talked to Jim Leonard as well, defensive coordinator. So I don't know. We could be getting that news soon. That was my second biggest takeaway. My third biggest takeaway is his philosophy, around the team. And he's basically using a lot of words that suggest he wants everybody to be cohesive. He wants us to be a together, a we thing. He thinks his idea, his definition of like, the whole play like a Raven moniker, like that whole phrase, is everybody working together, everybody having each other's back. The defense complementing the offense. He understands his role as a head coach now. He can't only focus on the defense. He wants to bring everything together so everything is firing on all cylinders at all times. And I love that. I love that. That was my third biggest takeaway from what we just heard from Jesse Minter. My fourth biggest takeaway is that it's only been a week since he's been hired as the Ravens head coach. And he has said he's talked to multiple players, namely multiple conversations with Lamar Jackson. He's had conversations with Kyle Hamilton, and I'm sure he's still developing more relationships with the guys in that locker room as well. But that's big, though. That's big. He's hands-on already, like we thought. He also mentioned for his OC and DC hires, I like to listen to when they talk about the traits of the guys that they want to hire. I like to listen to the order that they say these things in. And he led with leadership, right? He led with, connectability. How well can you connect to the players? How well can you lead to the players? And then he got into the schematics of it all, the X's and O's, that sort of stuff, which leads me to believe he's going to go out and get a DC who is maybe a developmental guy, but a very, very strong leader, somebody with very, very strong leadership traits. Not exactly sure if that's a Jim Leonard or whoever else that they're looking for right now, but we'll see. Time will tell. But same thing goes for the offensive coordinator spot too, which is going to be the most important hire, for the rest of this coaching cycle for the Ravens. Whoever the offensive coordinator is that job is going to be under a microscope. That position right now is underneath a huge microscope. So yeah, those are my four biggest takeaways. Again, no bombshell, breaking, damning type of news, nothing like that. Like my guy Torres said here, I mean, there were three different moods. There were three different moods on that stage just now. Yeah, Jesse Minter, he was just like, hey, look, happy to be here, man. I'm excited to be here. Let's get it going. He was very, very political with his answers, as you expect. Somebody asked him about, what are you going to do with the defense and things like that. And he was like, I'll answer that in the next month. So maybe we'll hear him talk again about that. But EDC looked mad uncomfortable up there. Mad uncomfortable. He has looked uncomfortable since his best friend and next door neighbor, John Harbaugh, got shipped out the door. He knows his seat is hot as hell, right? So he looked mad uncomfortable, like he was sitting there on trial. And then Sashi collect the check Brown, he was just sitting up there smiling. Just smile and wave, boys. Just smile and wave. That's all. I mean, again, I don't know what Sashi Brown does. Maybe he works damn hard behind the scenes. I'm sure he, operational stuff, he probably oversees, and I'm sure he does some stuff. But when it comes to the actual football, right, don't really care to hear from Sashi Brown, just saying. Maybe he has a really big say-so in things, but don't really care to hear from him. But he was just smiling and waving. He was just happy to be there. But yeah, those were the overall takeaways from that presser. coach says very soon when they should be hiring the OC and DC because they need to start evaluating the roster very soon. Absolutely. Absolutely. That needs to happen. Draft is right around the corner. World class, so he basically said nothing. Well, yeah, I mean, again, a lot of the answers were very political. However, I thought we did get some good information out of that. We got some good information. I think we got exactly what we probably could have expected. He wasn't going to tell us like, oh yeah, this year we're going to be running more 4-3 concepts on defense, or we're going to be, I'm going to have the corners a lot closer to the line of scrimmage. So what you saw last year wasn't happening with the soft zone cover. You know what I mean? Like the soft man cover. He's not going to get into the schematics and the X's and O's of it all. But I think he gave us enough. He did tell us that he was basically going to give us his take on how to play good defense. And I trust his take on how to play good defense because of what he was able to do with the LA Chargers, especially with, less money allocated to that side of the football. I mean, the Chargers were 31st in spending on defense, but they had a top 5 defense by the time it was all said and done. So, and I know, again, like we always say, the money's already spent in Baltimore. But a lot of those players, for the money that's been spent on them, they haven't been living up to expectations. So if he can unlock those expectations, I think that it'll definitely end up being worth it for sure. For sure. Let me see. Void says, get coordinators and they should do it before free agency. Too much to look at roster-wise. Team needs a sense of direction going forward. I agree. They definitely should get them before free agency, and I think that they will. And that's why they said they're finalizing some stuff right now. Yeah. Let me see. It ain't funny when you're next. That's damn sure. Sashi does stuff with finances and stadium stuff and other operations. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. But it's just like, again, football stuff. Don't really need to hear from you. Don't really need to hear from you, big dog. But, all right. Let's see. What's this baby oil talk in the chat? I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but I do have one more thing that I want to share with you guys before we get out of here on this episode of Sudden Reactions. I want to get you guys' opinions on the following before we get out of here. Do y'all think that Eli Manning deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? Let's take a listen to Emmanuel Acho's take on this. I know a lot of y'all have your reservations about him, but this is his argument on it. I want to hear you guys' too.
I'm going to say no. It is not the Hall of Good for a little bit. It's not the Hall of Good sometimes. It's not the Hall of Great for 6 games. It's the Hall of Fame. Eli Manning was great for about 6 to 7 games. Shout out to those 2 incredible playoff runs. I believe he had like 17 touchdowns or 15 touchdowns to 2 interceptions en route to 2 Super Bowls. Eli Manning was great for about 6 games. But it's not the Hall of Good. It's not the Hall of Great. It is the Hall of Fame. And Deion Sanders said, and I understand, looking around as a Hall of Famer saying, what are all these people doing in here? How can Eli Manning be in the same club as Peyton, as Tom? How can Eli be in the same club as Breeze? It's Favre.
Yeah.
I just don't even look right. I don't even sound right. I don't even smell right. He ain't nothing about that right. I'm going to say.
So that was his take on it. He basically does not believe that Eli Manning belongs in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And I disagree. Because while his argument is Eli Manning doesn't deserve to be on the same level as Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, even though he beat him twice at the peak of his career, and some of those other guys. But if we're not going to put him on that level, I think that would by default mean you're going to put him on the same level as like a Joe Flacco, which I disagree with. As much as I love me some Joseph Vincent Flacco in the Super Bowl that he delivered the Ravens, to do it twice right? Coming out of the NFC as Eli Manning to do it twice and beat Tom Brady twice. That should count for something. And it's the Hall of Fame. And when I think of the Hall of Fame, just pure subjectivity here on what my idea of Hall of Fame really is. It's players who not only had like the gaudiest stats for like the majority of their career, but it's players who accomplished great feats against the odds. You know, and the fact that Eli Manning did that not only once but twice, I think should secure him a spot in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Maybe not first ballot, right? Here's the thing. His first year of eligibility was last year, right? He was snubbed last year. You don't want to put him first ballot? Cool, I get it. It's not like he was a regular season monster or anything like that. Of course, we always compare him to his brother Peyton, but those 2 Super Bowls should count for something. They should count for enough to at least get him a second ballot Hall of Fame induction. And the fact that they're not giving that to him, it's a little shitty to me. It's pretty shitty to me, actually. I think back to those 2 Super Bowls that Eli Manning won. You're talking about generational, like all-time plays, all-time throws that were made by Eli Manning in the biggest spots against Bill Belichick's defense, who was a very large reason why the Patriots were consistently in Super Bowl contention in the late 2000s and 2010s as well. Eli Manning did not give a shit about a Bill Belichick defense late in those fourth quarters. If you guys remember the one in 2007, I believe it was, where the Patriots of having an undefeated season. The first one since Miami, way back in the day. They were going to go and they were going to end up 19-0 on the year, the Patriots, and win the Super Bowl. And at the very end of that game, they could have ended that game by sacking Eli Manning. They had him dead to rights. He gets out of the sack some way, somehow. Gets the ball downfield to David Tyree. You guys remember the helmet catch. Incredible. Iconic NFL moment. And then for them to continue driving down the field, and he gets that deep ball to Plaxico Burress, I believe it was, for the win, for the go-ahead score. Incredible. You fast forward to, what was it, 2009, I want to say. Just a couple of years later. He made another beautiful throw when it mattered most to really put the Giants in position to win that game. Backed up toward his own end zone. He throws, a 40 or 50-yard bomb damn near down the sideline to Mario Manningham. Drops it right in the bucket. Perfect throw, perfect catch. And they go down and score, and they win that game. To beat that team, that dynasty of a football team, people like to compare the Chiefs to the Patriots. It wasn't the same. It's not the same at all. There's a difference, right? The Patriots never got dominated in the Super Bowl quite like the Chiefs have. Every time the Patriots lost in the Super Bowl, those Giants losses, the Philly loss in 2017, those were close games that came down to the wire. Chiefs have gotten blown out a couple times. So I don't even like to compare those 2 dynasties. And the fact that Eli Manning took that dynasty down, the Patriots dynasty down twice in the height of their dominance, that is impressive. And I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame because of it. At least second ballot. World class says Eli doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. Eli is Flacco times 2. But hey, look, as Ravens fans, if Flacco had 2 Super Bowls, we'd be arguing for him to be in the Hall. We would. We would. If Matthew Stafford would have won a Super Bowl this year, we'd be arguing for him to be in the Hall of Fame. He'll probably still make it just because he's got one, and he's also got the regular season stats to back it up. But you get my point. Mark says, David Tyree crawled so OBJ could walk. Pretty much. If Eli belongs in the Hall of Fame, then so does Jacoby Jones. If we're just going off great playoff plays, I think you can tell the difference, world class, between Jacoby Jones, great playoff moments, rest in peace his soul, and Eli Manning as the quarterback, right? Which is the hardest position to play in sports. In I would say ball centered sports, right? Sports ball, if you will. It just means more. It just means a lot more, bro. Let me see. Hakeem Nicks, for sure, for sure. Don't even think Anquan Bolden or Chad Johnson belongs in the Hall of Fame. I damn sure don't think Eli belongs. Those guys probably won't be first ballot, but we'll see. If Eli belongs, then Russell Wilson belongs. If I was going to throw Russell Wilson in there, I would say maybe on his third go around, he might be able to sneak in there. You know, maybe, right? If he would have won that second Super Bowl, if they would have just ran the football on the 1 yard line, we'd be having a different conversation about Russell Wilson right now. We would. Void says the most mentally taxing position is quarterback, but the hardest might be cornerback. This is true. As a corner, you always got to be on your P's and Q's. You know, the ball might not come your way for 3 quarters, and then boom, it does one play, and you get burned because you got caught flat-footed, fell asleep on a play. It can happen, but quarterback is responsible for so many different things on pretty much every play. So I think that while you say it's the most mentally taxing, I mean, you also got to not get hit by 250, 300-pound grown men. It's debatable there. Debatable. Let me see. Russell can make it. Russell can make it. Again, not first ballot. Not first ballot, not for me. Eli Manning, I didn't think deserved first ballot, only because we didn't see the regular season success, the consistency in the regular season. You know, he was like a Flacco 2.0, but winning those 2 Super Bowls, I mean, 1 Super Bowl is huge, but 2? It's like, come on now. We gotta, like Big Ben got 2. He's gonna go. He's gonna go. So I didn't think Eli should have gotten first ballot. I do think second ballot should have been him. He should have gotten in on the second ballot for those 2 Super Bowls, those 2 amazing Super Bowl victories. That's not easy to do. But he didn't get second ballot, so it's whatever. Maybe he'll get it on his third go around. Russell Wilson, I think, will get it on the second or third, right? Flacco, I don't think that they'll let Flacco win. Flacco, too much of a journeyman. It's either you die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And that's, I think, what Flacco is. He stuck around way too long. He's just kind of like a mercenary quarterback now. He did win a Super Bowl all those years ago, back in 2012. But, since then, we haven't seen him make it back there in any capacity or really even close. So, yeah, he won't go. He won't go. He will not go. Eli will go in after Rivers and Big Ben. I could see that. I could totally see that. Could totally see that. World Class 9 says cornerback and goalie in hockey, top 2 most difficult positions in all of sports. I could see, yeah, cornerback is tough, like I just talked about. Hockey, a goalie in hockey, that would probably suck. You're just getting like a ice hard brick of a puck slapped at you constantly. That would suck. I'm not gonna lie to you. But no, in all of sports, we're talking about like ball type sports, and I would include hockey in that as well. Then yes, you guys know my opinion on what the hardest sport is. It's gonna be mixed martial arts every single time for me. For me. Okay. But all right. I think we're going to go ahead and leave it there for this episode of Sutton Reactions. I appreciate y'all for coming through as we're almost about 2 hours in. A nice lengthy episode today. Juicy one as well. Covered a lot, did some liminal horror games, talked about some other little topics here and there. Covered the Jesse Minter presser. If you've been watching the entire time, shout out to you, man. We still got 70 people watching live right here across all platforms. We appreciate that. Again, we will be live later on this evening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Me and my co-host, Simply AS10, aka Alex, to discuss this Jesse Minter presser that just happened. And also, Jesse Minter will be on the Pat McAfee show later today, where I assume they're going to get a little bit better answers, more casual answers out of Jesse Minter, which is what we're looking for. We just got the political answers. Now we want to see what he talks about when he chops it up with the bros over at Pat McAfee. So we'll see about that. Make sure you tune into Purple Rain podcast later on today, again, 6:30 p.m. Like this video before you guys get out of here. Stay positive, test negative as always, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.